Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna do a follow-up video of the Lua modcharting tutorial I made previously. If you haven't watched that video, I should highly recommend watching that one first. At that time I was really bad at Lua, so I still am by the way. But today I'm gonna make an updated video about it, but I still highly recommend watching that video first, because that's like explaining the basics of how you can make Lua modcharts. I also highly recommend using Lua for modcharting instead of the modchart editor, and I'll go over that in this video. But like we always do, let's first launch up Universe Engine. As you can see, I'm in the Universe Engine launcher and I'm gonna launch 0.5.5, but again, everything will work in previous versions. So let's launch that up. And behind the scenes I already set up like a basic mod pack. So I figured out that my in-game sound was way too loud. I'm sorry about that. I will do voiceovers when needed. Again, sorry for that. I'll lower the volume in editing. Go into there. We're gonna make a simple mod chart from it. And I'm also gonna get my preparations ready, so because I forgot to do that. So bear with me for a second. So of course we're first gonna need to make our Lua file. I'm gonna call it modchart.lua, but you can call it as something you like. Then, like before, you need the onCreatePose function, or the onCreate. No, onCreatePose needs to be in there. And let's just do like a simple beat loop. So something I figured out is in start mod, I'm gonna call it X, you can actually just in the modifier tab right here, the string, instead of typing X modifier, you can actually type X. Same with flip, so start mod, let's say flip. You can basically type flip modifier, the tool will add it by default, will add it when it's missing. For the type I'm gonna leave it blank, so for all, and -1 for all playfields, but you can also leave it blank. So to remind how you make a basic modifier, on the onCreatePose function, you need, these are the functions that are that need to be in onCreatePose. There are two functions that don't need to be in inside of onCreatePose, and that's setMod. You also have the set submod, tween modifier, and tween sub modifier. These are the functions that don't need to be in not create post, I'm gonna call it like that. These are the functions that don't really need to be in onCreatePose, but I'm not gonna go over that. So we have our song loaded up here. So let's first do like a quick basics, so you can remind how it works. So set is with a time, so let's say beat 2. Then the value, let's say 200, and our X, and of course when I restart, you can see that the playfields
3, 2, 1, go!
Boom. That's like the very basics. And same with ease. So let's say warthog 200 and x. So the beat, how long, the ease function, the value, and the mod. As you can see, I'm using double quotes. In the other video I did something like this. But I realized that these double brackets, square brackets, are basically the same as string. This will make your mod chart look a lot cleaner. So please use those double quotes if you're using like one or two modifiers for this, for an ease function or a set function. It will make your reading your script a lot easier for if you're like watching it again in like 4 months, I don't know, but let's just see what it will do. You'll see what it will do. So we'll just tween it. But those are the basics. And this is why I love Lua, and I highly recommend using Lua for mod charting. And that's tweening, or basically looping your modifiers. If you know in the side of mod charting in the modchart editor, you need to like place an event and then repeat them, but you don't have a lot of control with it. And that's where Lua comes in place. With Lua, you can use for loops. So I'm gonna make a quick for loop. I have an example ready. So for beat is equals to 0. And let's just do like 16. Then just make a quick variable. I'm gonna call it time is equals to 2 plus beat. And then I'm gonna make a simple beat loop. So I'm first gonna do set, and then I pass in the time variable. And then I set the value, so 200 and x. And then I'm gonna ease it back with time, around 1 second duration, quart out, and then I'm gonna do 0 and x. This is a little bit more advanced, but it can get a little bit more insane. Like if I now go through
3, 2, 1, go!
what it will look like. As you can see, it will just do this for like a couple of times. This is like a very basic thingy. You can also do like other things with it, like really crazy things. I'm gonna show like a quick example of with what I mean. Let me find it real quick, just give me a second. And then I also show you where you can also where I also recommend using something like this, and that's when you use like a lot of math inside of it. Here I have it. So this part, for example, this is like a lot more complicated. Also use a little bit more math and stuff. Here too, here I recommend using this, and if you know Lua, you need to pass in those double dots to add them into it, to add to the string. But as you can see, it can get like quite insane. But I have another example ready, and this is a little bit more complicated maybe. And I'm also not gonna use the onCreatePost function. I'm just gonna remove this real quick. I'm gonna use it, but for other things. and it's this script right here, and this is also powerful with Lua. I first need to add in a couple of modifiers. Let me align it properly. I'm also gonna center out the playfields with the swap playfields modifier, and I'm gonna use setMod to set the modifier to that position. And as you can see, I'm also using new functions, and I'm gonna pass them in to it. And this is like a very thing why I love Lua, because making this inside of the modchart editor is practically impossible, or you have to touch grass, which I don't do. And let me just show you how powerful this is.
3, 2, 1, go!
So as you can see, the notes are centered. They move out, and then this, like I tell you, use Lua for modcharting. Like doing great. If you want to do crazy stuff, use Lua. Use stinking Lua. It's okay. It can be a pain in the ass to make your modchart. Like you constantly have to go back, like skip time a couple of seconds, maybe restart your song. But you already see the visuals you made using Lua. You can see all of the events and stuff, and you can like you saw, use like custom functions to help you out with some math. It's also a lot more powerful. You can very easily make cool effects. I highly recommend using Lua. If you don't want to use Lua, that's your choice. Of course, I don't really mind, but it's just a recommendation. But yeah, this is basically like everything I want to say right now. It's a very short video, but I already showed like the very basics. And the a little bit more advanced stuff, like if I just go back to that for loop, these can get like very complicated, like I already said, but with Lua you just get more possibilities. Like you basically open Pandora's box. But yeah, this is like a follow-up tutorial. If I got way too fast, leave me, please tell it me inside of the comments. If you like this video and you want to see more content of this, please subscribe. And if this helps you out a little bit with making like Lua modcharts, if you were already doing that, please leave a like. And yeah, if nothing more to say, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And sorry that that I haven't uploaded in a while. Bye.